Good morning, this is Dr. Bill White again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm going to talk about a case here. It's a very short video, but either I made a mistake or somebody that referred this to me made a mistake, but it's interesting to see this mistake, and it's not necessary that it be done. In other words, you could have uprighted this molar very easily. So if you'll watch, I'll show you that, and we won't take much time doing this, but let's take a look at this young man. This is a nice little kid. He's got some real problems here, and this is just his facial structure. Now, the guy comes in, and I assume that he came to me, and so I probably made this mistake myself. Now, at this point, the jaw is coming up, the jaw structure is coming up in here, and this is the second molar, and here's a wisdom tooth, and it would be very unlikely he'd ever get a jaw long enough to put the wisdom tooth in there, so we're planning at this point to get rid of the wisdom tooth, and you see it marked out over here. Now, this is one of the few cases we've got where we've got a second molar here, and you see this molar is setting like that, and that's a pretty bad angle, and it's pushed on this molar as it was forming and pushed the crown over, and the roots are kind of tapered back to the back here. So we've got something obviously wrong in here. Now, let's go to the next picture. And this is, let's see, the first one was in 1987 and 81. I didn't see him again until 82, and his fourth month of 82. And this tooth is getting worse. This angle is setting down. I thought maybe it would turn up, but it doesn't. And this one over on this side, actually, if we got the wisdom tooth out, it is beginning to come in correct. We have other problems up here, crowding and getting the teeth down in place. So let's go to the next Panorex, and this was number 2, and this will be number 3. And this is in, I can't tell, this is 7, looks like 7 of 82. And this tooth is still coming up here to here, and it's going to be very difficult to get this second molar up and get it into place. And I must have made this mistake myself. For some reason or another, I did not have faith enough to know that I could have set that tooth up right, and it was hooked underneath this one. And this is the 6-year molar, and this is the second molar, and the jaw is pretty short in here. And so I thought, well, I would have to move this tooth in this direction, and so to get there, I was going to have to eliminate something. So I took out the second bicuspid on that side of the mouth, thinking I would move this over and this tooth would straighten up a little bit and we could get it in. But and the other side is working out fine to me. The people took the wisdom tooth out over here. This 12-year molar is coming in all right, and here is the upper 12-year molar coming down, and it's both of them are slow coming in. Now we'll go to the following. This is 84. In other words, we waited around for this to happen. Well, instead of this tooth setting up this way, the thing just lay down. It looked like it just went to sleep over here. And this tooth is in the way. We moved this over some, and that tooth just lay down like that. It's going to be pretty big problem if we didn't know how to upright it. But we know how to upright it today, and I could have upright that tooth and not have to take out the second bicuspids in doing that. So anyway, we went that way, and then I had to put you see there's a little deal put on here, and we've got a spring on it, and we brought it out here, and we cock that tooth up, and then we'll pull it together and close the space on this side of the mouth. But I've lost the second bicuspid right in this area. So this, to me, was a mistake. I could have uprighted this tooth easy enough. Let's go now to that's number 5. I think that may be the end of it. I'll show you in the mouth how you can see it to some extent. The bite is closed over on the right side of the mouth. You see it's open over here where we're working on this tooth. And we'll go in here and look at it again. You can see it from this side. That's the right side. This is the left tooth. All right, here is our spring, which is an excellent example if we can look at it a little better. Okay, here it is. I knew I had an excellent picture in here. This is the tooth right here, the second molar that was laying down almost like this, and we hooked this deal in here. I banded it here. I don't know how I got a band on it there, but we put this deal in and we make these springs, and this would have been going down like that, and we put a hook in it, and we bring that up and hook it behind one of the contact points over here. Now, as this tooth raised up and moved back like that, then this little hook has to slide back in this direction. But this is the basic thing that we use to upright every kind of tooth, and I've never found a person I couldn't upright it, except I didn't have the faith enough to know that this would have worked on this case here. I could have done that, and it would have gone right out of the way and come up in there. Now, when you get it up in this position and you need to bring this tooth forward, you keep this in there with some of this action on it. In other words, this springs here. You take some of it out if it starts to kick back and face. In other words, the tooth starts leaning back here, you got to take some of this force off. But just keep enough force. And now we can come in with something and tie onto here, or a class 2 elastic. You can slide this tooth forward, and the roots of it will be parallel with the roots of the other teeth up in here. And this was, I'm sure this was a mistake that I made. I'd have to go back and look at that to make sure. Let me erase that. And here is another view of that. So learn how to bend this. You can straighten up or tilt up or straight. Don't ever put a bridge in somebody's mouth with one tooth leaning like this, or a crown or anything. You can straighten those teeth up. They don't have to be in orthodontics at all. You just can come in there and put this tube on there. Now we've got just tubes. You just put on the side of the tooth and put this in there, and you can actually take the tooth sitting down like that, and you can put this tube up here, and you come in with a wire. You can do it that way if you want to, or if you want to drop it down and come in and then come off here, and you bring this up. Anyway, when you hook this up, it tightens this spring up. If you do go up with it, you run off and you tighten it either way you went with it, and it'll bring this tooth out. And I have never found a tooth that I really learned how to do this, and I couldn't up, and it doesn't matter how old they are or where you are. You don't have to have any braces in the teeth at all. You just bond a little tooth, bond a wire on the side. We're going to show that again. And so this is a mistake I made, and I'll pull this tooth up into place. But there, we're going to close it out, and I'll say goodbye. Thank you for watching this. But if you have not tried it, try this uprighting these teeth like this. It is something that I think every dentist ought to know how to do that. You don't have to have a degree in orthodontics to see how to do that. We're going to show a whole bunch of these cases. Thank you now, and I'm going to say goodbye.